What's going on, people? I would like to welcome all of you to another Q-on-1 edition of the Talk to Q radio show. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And with the Q-on-1s, what I like to do is interview people to expose my audience to new things. I talk to authors, entrepreneurs, entertainers, counselors, other podcasters, and sometimes just your everyday person who just has something to say about a particular topic. So it's an opportunity for you to get to know these people up and close and learn their story. What sparked the passion to choose a certain career, or what inspired them to write that book? Or why is this person so opinionated about a particular topic? So just sit back and enjoy the show, and please be encouraged to share. A lot of my guests, much like myself, kind of do their thing by word of mouth. So the more that you share, like, or comment on a social media post, then the more you can help me grow the show. And it also gives more support to the people that I bring on the show who are looking to get their services, products, and talents out to the masses. So without further ado, let's get to the interview. My guest didn't just participate in the Olympics. She also brought home a gold medal in 2016 from Brazil in the shot put. Residing in the Lone Star State of Texas, please welcome Miss Michelle Carter to Talk to Q. Michelle, how's it going?
It's going good. How about yourself?
I am doing great. And first of all, I truly appreciate you taking time to join the show. Uh, let's start from the beginning. You first participated in the shot put back in junior high school. I've never met anyone who said, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a shot putter. How does one decide that, shot put is my thing?
I always say I didn't pick the shot put life. The shot put life chose me. I didn't wake up thinking that either. I just actually happened to try out for the track team. The coach asked me if I was interested, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll try it out. And I tried it out, and I kind of stuck with it for a little while. And I realized, like, girl, you actually are kind of good at this. Let's just see what happens. And so 25 years later, here we are.
Wow. And I mean, now your dad is no slouch himself. He not only won the silver medal, if I'm not mistaken, in the '84 Olympics, but he
Mhm.
also won a few Super Bowls as a 49er, as a stout all pro defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So I guess the genes kind of run in your family.
Yeah, I told him he did the best that he can do as a silver medalist.
So, what is the training regimen like for a shot putter?
Yeah, so when I was training, I would practice anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day. You wake up in the morning, of course, you eat, you get ready. I will throw. That could be anywhere between 2 to 3 hours because I warm up, stretch, then I go through all my throws, then I go through all the drills, then I do like my sprinting and whatever plyometrics or actual workout I have that day, and then after that. I'm headed to the weight room. I'll eat something, may take a little bit of a break, and then I go to the weight room and I'm probably in the weight room for about another 2 to 3 hours. And then with that, you finish up with your cardio and ab work and film work and then ice baths and massages and Pilates. Like it's a long day. It's a full-time job.
I can imagine. Now, when you say you watch film, are you studying for technique, like watching your throws?
Yes, when I study film, I'm watching my throws and I'm also watching others that's doing something better than I am. And I'm watching how they're doing it so I can visualize the position that I need to be in when it's time for me to throw.
Okay. Now, track and field is not just a popular sport in the United States, it's popular all over the world. And
Hmm.
that's allowed you the opportunity to travel abroad. What are some of the places across the globe your career has taken you that you maybe never envisioned you would see as a child?
Man, I've been to China several times, Korea, France, Spain, Italy, Hungary, Doha. I've been to the Middle East. I've been to
Mm.
Russia, Germany. I've been to places in South America. Like I've pretty much have touched every hemisphere except for I haven't been down under. I haven't hit New Zealand and Australia yet. But I've enjoyed traveling the world. My very first international competition, I was in 10th grade and we flew to Debrecen, Hungary.
Wow,
And
10th
that was
grade.
in 10th grade. That was my first experience of traveling overseas. And then from that moment on, I'm like, oh, yeah, They're gonna fly me here for free. I don't have to pay for it. My parents don't have to pay for it. They take care of it. Oh, this is what I'm doing.
And now you mentioned Russia, and we see WNBA star Brittany Griner and what she's been going through in Russia. Did you ever
Mhm.
have any fears like that of being in a foreign country as
Oh
far as
my
how things
goodness.
go and being trapped?
Yes. Number one, when you're traveling in the world as an American, you're automatically a target. Like they can spot an American from a mile away. We just look a little different. We keep ourselves a little different. And so we always have to be very mindful. I remember the time that we had world championships in Russia and they had the US embassy come talk to us. And they said, hey, when you're in Russia, don't go anywhere by yourself. You can't even go next door by yourself. If you take somebody, they're not your walking partner, they're your battle buddy. Like you're going to be prepared to fight in Russia. And when they told me that, I was like, I'm good. I'll never have to leave the hotel. Like I don't want no
Don't blame you.
problems. I want to get home safely. So it is some fear that is attached to traveling because you just never know um, how somebody may perceive you and how they may really feel about you. It's not really about you personally. It's about really where you come from. Like if you're an American, some countries don't like Americans. So you have to be very cautious. In other countries, they're like, oh, you're American, we love Americans. And then you can feel a little bit more safe. So you just have to kind of read the room and know where you're at and respect the boundaries.
I understand that completely. That would be a huge fear for me. But all right, so you excelled in sports throughout your school years, winning state titles and setting records. You won a gold in the USA indoor and outdoor championship in the same year
Mhm,
back in 2013. And
mhm.
then in 2016, the Summer Games Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. All right, that rolls around the ultimate stage. What was your preparation like for the 2016 Olympics? Was it different than your normal regimen?
It wasn't. It wasn't any different, and the reason why I take each year, as a new foundation for the next year. So 2015, I trained to be my very best to see how good I can be in 2015 because whatever the work that I do in 2015 is now the foundation for my base for 2016. So I always looked at each year as a building block to get me to where I needed to be my best. So the goal, of course, is to win gold, but the goal is to always be myself. Can I outdo what I did last year? And if I can, I'm always going to push myself to be a better version than I was before.
Now, I mean, whatever you did, it definitely worked because you came home with the gold medal and set an American record in the process. And the atmosphere for the Olympics is amazing. There are cameras everywhere pointing at you. You didn't feel any butterflies with your first throw in Rio at all?
No, and the reason why is because I've been here too many times before. And what I try to do in my competitions is that this is just a competition. I have competed against the women that I have competed against for many years. The shot put that I use is the same size that I've been throwing since high school. The ring is the same size ring that it's always been since they made the ring, right? All these things that I'm using is the same. The only thing that's different about the competition is the name of the competition. And so I just came in there, approached it like any other competition, prepared to do my best. And so that helps keeps the nerves in check. It helps keeps the expectations in check. I don't want to put any more emphasis on this meet because my goal is to be my best at every competition I go to.
That's very good advice for young athletes out there who feel pressure. That's very good advice. And so you win the gold medal. So
Mhm.
now the gold medal's around your neck. The national anthem is playing and you're standing on the podium. Now, we as fans always see the vantage point from our perspective, us
Mhm.
looking at you, on the screen. But what are you looking at when you're standing on that podium? What were you seeing at that time? Can you tell us what was going through your mind when you were presented with that gold medal and that anthem's playing?
Yes. So what really took me like by surprise because our medal ceremony wasn't the night that I won. we had our medal ceremony the next night. So when I looked out in the audience, there were people who came to the track meet earlier, the competition earlier, just to see me get my medal. So there were people that I knew, there were teammates that I knew. Other athletes that I know. My dad was there. There were celebrities there, and they were cheering me on. They don't know me, but because I represent Team USA, they wanted to be a part of the moment because in Rio, I was the first medal for track and field for the whole competition. And so for it to be Team USA, I'm the first American to win, and everybody gets to join in on that moment with me. That was the part that kind of took me back because there's so many times we have medal ceremonies for my event and there's nobody there. Nobody cares. Okay, women shot put, hooray, bye, go on. But there were people who purposely came just to see me. And that felt so good and it made me feel so special in that moment.
That's great. And you also got the chance to rub that gold medal on your dad's face, huh?
Oh yeah. But I because he was my coach and he is my coach, I'm like, it's just as much mine as it is his. Because he was a silver medalist, he coached me up to be a gold medalist. So I can't take away from what he's definitely poured into me over the years. But I know it meant so much more to him to see me do what he did and go a little bit beyond it because his career ended really short in track and field because back in those days you could not be a professional athlete and participate in the Olympic movement. So the minute his career started, it ended because he went on to football that same year. So to see me go on and press forward, he was able to share that moment with me. So it was very special.
Well, I think that's great. I think that is really great. And if nothing else, the dad would always have the Super Bowl rings on you, huh?
Well, yeah, he can have that.
So you mentioned uh, some of the celebrities and other people who participate with Team USA. What was it like being in the Olympics? And just over the years, you've met people, I'm assuming, like maybe a Sonia Richards Ross or a Usain Bolt, or I mean, have you
Mhm.
met other um, people like that, Allison Felix, or
Yeah, so like I went to college with Sonia.
oh,
Um, Allison and I, we graduated in 2003. So there's been so many track meets we've been a part of or been there together, and within our career. And so in track and field, when we travel with the team, of course, you're with your team, but then also at competitions, um, we're around each other. Right, so track and field is a small community. Even though we have people that represent different countries, we all know each other, and a lot of us have developed relationships from high school and then mainly college because there's a lot of athletes that come through the college system that go pro. So meeting these athletes, and I know like to the average person, they're like, "Oh wow, like you get to be around them." I'm like, "Ooh, so and so, like I've been knowing them since we were 15 years old." Like we really are friends. We grow up with each other. We get to see each other compete year in and year out. So yes, I've met these people. It doesn't feel like meeting something special, but what I do enjoy and what makes it special, that the fact that I am up close and personal with these people, is that I get to take the journey with them when they accomplish great things. Like we get front row seats to these competitions, and I can say, like, dang, I seen your progress. I've watched you struggled. I've seen your good meets. I've seen your bad meets. And then to see you win in this moment, it's really a good feeling to watch people you grow up with reach great heights in their career and you're there to celebrate with them.
now on the flip side, let's talk about your competition. Do you develop any friendships? Have you developed any friendships over the years with some of your competition? Do you have a rival? What was that like?
Yeah, so what what did they say? There's a meme that's going around on Instagram. There was like, so how do you feel about your competition? And then the meme says, what competition? Right? I'm not saying it's not competition, but I don't look at it that way. Like we all are here to do a job and may the best woman win. And I'm not here to take away from anybody. I'm just here to do my job and hopefully I walk away with what I want to walk away with. And so I have developed relationships with some athletes that I competed against. And then some of them don't want that relationship because they need to be mad at me or they need to hate me for them in order for them to be good. I don't operate that way. I understand that it's the competition. This is only a moment in time. We can be at odds during the competition, but after the competition, who cares? So I have developed some relationships, but then there's some people who don't want the relationship or don't care to, and that's fine with me too. I stay in my lane, I handle my business, I speak when it's appropriate, and I move on.
And now, is there a language barrier a lot of times out there? Because I see you communicate with some of the other athletes, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this person's from China, this person's from
Mhm.
Russia. So, I mean, do you run into that?
Yes, there is a language barrier. But the good thing is English is very universal. So a lot of the athletes know some English. And so we're able to communicate through that. Some of my favorite athletes that I run across that I always love speaking to is the women athletes from China. And so when they see me, they're quick to speak English. They want to say hello and hi and all these things. And so when I turn around and I say ni hao, they like, oh my gosh, like she speaks Chinese. Like it's so interesting to just to see because they want that interaction, but that language barrier can be difficult. But when we just try to communicate or say good job to each other, or just acknowledge each other, it goes a long way.
All right. So, a few more questions and we'll get ready to wrap things up. What's next for you now that you've retired from track and field? Now, I don't know if this is a Michael Jordan retirement, I'm gone and I'm come back, a Tom Brady type of deal, but you announced your retirement back in, I think, June, July,
In
maybe.
June, yes.
And so, what's next for Michelle Carter?
Well, you don't have to worry about me coming back. I am done. I am done. Um, I had a great career, like I said, 25 years. I don't need any more. I am good. But what is next for me? I'm actually working on a podcast myself. It's called the Podium Life Podcast. The trailer is out. We're working on the episode, so definitely check that out. I am working on a book, and I have a couple of other projects that I'm working on, and I really am working on growing my girls camp called You Throw Girls Sports Confidence Camp. And we're really growing that out to really have a big summer coming up. So I'm really excited about that.
All right. Now, tell us some more about You Throw Girl.
So, You Throw Girl is a sports confidence camp where we build confidence in young female athletes to believe in who they are on and off the field. So, one thing for me, even though I am this athlete and people think I think about sports 24/7, I don't want to talk about sports all day. It gets boring. I got what I needed. Okay, it's time to move on. And so, going to sports camps growing up where they're just so skilled focused, that's boring to me. But over time, I realized there is more to being an athlete, especially when we're talking about our young women. It's a lot that goes into being a female athlete. And so I designed this camp to hit different points of what a female athlete need. So at my camp, we go over goals. We do goal setting. Um, we do vision boards. I have an adolescent OGBYN come in and talk about puberty with the girls or and their monthly cycle and how to take care of their bodies and what's going on. I have a lady comes in and teach self-defense because we know that sex trafficking is at an all-time high. So I want the girls to feel confident and be able to protect themselves if they're ever in a situation. I also have etiquette classes. Someone comes in and teach them with how to present themselves with confidence and how to use the table setting because when you're good at something, you never know what rooms you might be invited into. And so I want them to be prepared for that. We're adding actually some financial literacy classes coming in so then these young ladies can understand how money works, how to save money, and how to grow and do those things. So we're adding a lot into this that can just build them up as a woman, as a person. And I do believe that when you're able to build the person up, when that person operate in their skill, meaning whatever it is that they're learning, if it's sports or any other skill, they're just that much more confident because they have confidence in who they are without the skill. And so that's something that I focus in with the camp because I want the girls just to feel confident that who they are is more than enough and that their skill is the icing to the cake. But what's the icing without the good cake? And I want them to know that they are good cake and these are just things that are just extra for them.
All right. I think that is great. I think it's wonderful that you're doing that. And I really hope that it continues to grow.
Thank you.
And I know you're also into like fashion and makeup, and I was looking at some of your pictures on your Facebook page and IG, and I mean, is that something you're looking to do too? I see,
I
you know,
am.
you're cover ready right there, and then
Right?
look at that, look at that.
Yes. So I am into makeup and fashion. I actually started to become a makeup artist in 2008 after my very first Olympic Games. And I'm helping friends get ready for interviews. They saw how I did my makeup. They was like, oh, can you help me? And I'm helping them. And a friend stopped me and she said, well, Michelle, you know, you can get paid for this. I'm like, really? I didn't even think about that. So I went home, took classes, and I absolutely love it because you could just see the transformation um, of making people feel good about themselves. Even though makeup is something external, but it just does something to you, and you know, you just, okay, I did this today, and it just makes me feel so, you know, it makes me feel good. And so I enjoy doing that. So when it comes down to beauty and fashion, I may look regular every day, but when it's time for me to dress up, I'm stepping out. I'm getting dressed up from head to toe. I'm going to kill it every single time.
That's what's up. All right. So, where can my viewers follow you on social media or get more information on speaking engagements and things of that nature? Where can they
Yes,
go?
so I am Shot Diva on everything. Even my website is shotdiva.com. So I'm pretty easy to find.
All right. And I'll make sure to include that in the show links where people can locate you, locate you, Throw Girl, and
Yes.
things of that nature. And wow, I must say that I've truly enjoyed speaking with you. What, 7 outdoor championships, 4 indoor championships, 2-time world champion, an Olympic
Mhm.
gold medal, the shot diva, Michelle Carter. I truly appreciate you taking the time to join this Q-on-1 edition of the Talk Q. And I wish you nothing but the best in whatever your next career move will be.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care.
All right. If I can get you to hold backstage for just a moment for me. And that's going to do it, people. Thank you for joining this Q-on-1 edition of Talk to Q. And be sure to follow me. You can search for me by using the hashtag TalkToQ and find me on social media. And we'll see you next time.